Hi, navigators. It's Miss Tebow and the Ladybug back to say hello to you today with another one of our mini lessons. These mini lessons are for all our navigators, from our 4-year-olds all the way up to my 5th graders who are almost ready for Crossroads. And especially since we won't be back together in the building, this is a good way that we can be together and do some mini guidance lessons for the remainder of our school year. I hope that you've been having some joy each day. We ended our last lesson on trying to find something each day that brings you happiness or brings you joy, as well as joy for somebody else. I've been working, watching those little sweet potatoes try to grow. I think we have to be really patient on that because they haven't grown very much since our last lesson. I did try one other little veggie. It's a little piece of celery. This has actually only been in the jar for about maybe 4 days, and it's actually got quite some little growth on the top. So I think it might be a little faster than the sweet potatoes. The other thing, remember I told you I was trying to refresh my brain and relearn how to knit. So I've started another little project. This is still very much a beginner project. But I did pick something that had just a few different stitches so that hopefully I could run my brain and try something a little different. Can you guess what it might be? You could say a skinny scarf. Nope, not a skinny scarf. It's a very tiny project, but it's on smaller needles this time, so it takes a little longer to knit. So think about that, about what that might be. I also tried to do some joy for somebody else. I was talking with a friend on the phone, and she had almost finished reading all of her books that she'd gotten at the library before the libraries closed, and I had finished some books, so we decided we would swap some books. So I took them over and left them on her front porch, and we waved at each other through the door, and now we both have some new books to read. So today our topic is called Things We Can Control. And can you remember in our guidance room we have those big red dice? One die had 3 really important words on it. You remember? Yep. These are the things that you are in charge of, that you're in control of. The first one is what you think, what you say, and what you do. Now, sometimes we wish we could be in charge of what other people think and what they say and what they do, but we can't. That's the tough thing. But we can be in charge of how we think about things, what we say or don't say, what we do, how we choose our actions. And these are like your superpowers. The think, say, and do help you to be a better problem solver. Also helps you to think through healthy ways to handle some of those uncomfortable feelings that we talked about last time. And in lots of ways, they're more powerful than anybody would ever think. Do you remember when Felicia Flower would get a little frustrated, a little irritated with somebody, a little mad? We talked about 3 strategies that we would always tell her to do. And these strategies actually use the think, say, and do. I'm going to do the hand motions to see if you can remember them, and then we'll go over them. The first one was, the second one was, and the third one, did you get them? All right. The first one was walk away. That helps for kids and adults. If something is frustrating you, if something's irritating you, give yourself a little space. Walk to the next room. Walk to a different part of your backyard. Ask your mom if you can just take a little break from doing your work in the kitchen and walk around the living room one time. Sometimes giving ourselves a little space and physically moving is the first step in doing something that can help us handle that frustration in a really healthy way. That second one was take a deep breath. Now, what's really important about this one is you need to inhale and get lots of air in, and then exhale really slowly. That gives your lungs time to grab a hold of oxygen molecules, and the extra oxygen is what helps us feel calmer. We also, at the beginning of the year, talked about a different way to breathe called mountain breathing. Do you remember that? You start and you take a big breath in when you're going up the mountain. And then when you're going down the mountain, you don't go down really fast. You put your brakes on and exhale really slowly. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Awesome. And the third one, I taught you this when you were in kindergarten, was to count to 10. The idea behind this one is really the thinking part. We want to get our brain to stop thinking about what's making us angry and concentrate on something else for a few minutes to give us a chance to calm down. Now, when you were in kindergarten, you were just learning to count. Counting to 10 took a lot of brain power. As I've talked to my 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, that's too easy for you now. You need to do something a little more challenging. You know, a couple times we practiced starting at 100, counting backwards by 3s. Now get your brain thinking, or whatever you think you can do for a few minutes just to give your brain a break from what's going on with what's making you angry and frustrated. Those are all healthy ways to handle some of those uncomfortable feelings that we all have. We can also use our think, say, and do for when we are trying to do problem solving. Have you ever tried to learn something and it was really tough? You had to keep practicing it. Or you tried to learn something new, like the Steve-O knitting, and it didn't work, and I had to rip it out and try again. How your brain thinks about that is really important. If things are really easy, our brain's not growing. Just too easy. But if it's either a little bit challenging, or if we run into a problem and we stop and we work and figure out how to solve that problem, our brain actually grows even more. So how you think about it is really important. I'll tell you one of the things I've been trying to do that's a little tough for me. I have a new puppet, one of my tiny puppets to show you. She's a little praying mantis. I liked her because she looked like she'd be very flexible and easy to do stretches and exercising. That's the hard part for Miss Steve-O. I've tried to use what Mr. Lander showed us in his video, doing those little warm-up stretches, trying to do some exercising every day, and it's just a little hard. It doesn't come easy for me. I decided to try a new habit, and I did it for 4 days in a row. Ooh, I was feeling good. I was feeling confident. And the 5th day came, and I was feeling a little tired, so I didn't do it. And then the 6th day came, I was feeling a little lazy, and I didn't do it. Do you think in my brain I thought, I give up. I can't do this. I quit. Nope, because I really do want to do it, and I do think it's really healthy for me. One of the books that I've gotten before the library closed is called Tiny Habits, the Small Changes That Change Everything. This author says sometimes we try really big habits and then we don't do well and we get discouraged. So they suggest making a tiny little change and pairing it with something you already do. For example, every morning after I brush my teeth, I'm going to do my warm-up stretches. And then you do them, and then you celebrate, and then you feel confident. So guess what? Today I've started over. So I want you to be kind to yourself, just like I'm trying to be kind to myself. When you're trying to learn something new or do something that's a little bit challenging, make sure you use the power of how you think about it, what you say to yourself, and what you do so that you can make really healthy choices and be a great problem solver. Now, last time I told you I'd share a few brain breaks for you and your family so you could do something fun together. So this one, you create a roll a dice game if you'd like to. So grab a die from one of your games, or if you can't find a die, just put a little slips of paper with numbers 1 through 6 on it, and then decide the theme of your game. I've done 2 for you for examples. Here I just wrote the numbers 1 through 6, and this theme is healthy exercise because I'm still trying to improve. If I roll a 1, I would do 10 jumping jacks. A 2, stand on 1 foot and count to 50 by 2s. A 3, try to do 6 push-ups. A 4, try the tree yoga pose. We did that at the beginning of the year. 5, run in place while you're singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And 6, do 12 sit-ups. Or this one, I just drew the die, and this is like a little mini entertainment tonight. So 1, tell a knock-knock joke. 2, create a new dance. 3, use charades to try to tell a movie title. 4, perform a magic trick. 5, tell an adventure story. And 6, sing a song together. Y'all are so creative. I'm sure you will come up with lots of different themes and lots of different roll of dice games that you can play together with your family. So quick review. I want you, for your challenge this week, just to keep finding joy, something every day that's good for you, and help create some joy for somebody else. Use your think, say, and do superpowers in a great way. Mrs. DePinka was wonderful. She put the first video and this video on my website at school. So if you just go to the River Springs school website, under Our School, it'll say guidance, and you can click on that. So in case you want to go back and review either video. It also has that self-care wellness chart that I sent out earlier. And that has some really cool links like zoo cams, check up on the animals. It has a series of videos on feeling good about ourselves. And that's something I think we can use right now in all these challenging times. So I'll be back in a few days with another little mini lesson. I'll also tell you what I'm trying to knit then, see if you can guess it. And just want you to know that I'm thinking about you every day and sending you lots of positive thoughts. Bye.